Hello and welcome everybody back to the Dumbass class with me, Dyslexic Gamer, as we carry on our Thursday night game of Warhammer Fantasy's second generation tabletop RPG game, which we are calling Mordheim, the City of the Damned, and this chapter is A Leaf Too Far. Or is it? Well, we'll have to find out. Last time, our group of heroes and adventurers had saved a group of women and children from the clutches of disgusting and foul beastmen. They had got them to safety for the time being, but they had followed the tracks of these hideous creatures back to their den. Once there, they engaged in glorious combat with these chaos-infused creatures. They are just the epitome of destruction and evil in this world. Well, more destruction than evil. As our groups joined combat, some of them heard a voice. Well, one of them heard a voice in their head. The others heard the magnified voice of what could only be presumed to be a knight, someone with heavy armor enclosing their face, thus giving them a muffled sound. This is not really combat music, but my combat music keeps getting flagged, so you're going to have to accept it. As the combat went on, our group began to take down the numbers of beastmen. And we come back to our resident murderer, Aurelia. You have just seen your fellow elf put to sleep the beast man that you were aiming at, and as it drifted off to the land of Nod, a cheeky dwarf came up from behind and slew it. It's your turn.
Aurelia's bow was trained on the beast, man. She just lowers it just a tiny bit to the dwarf and see, oh, no one will ever know. But then she looks forward and, can I shoot this one from the, or is this underbrush gonna get in my way?
Draw your line to it again.
Sorry.
Never mind, I got it. I will. I'll allow it because you're on the line. If you were a little bit more. So yeah, I'll allow that. There is a -20 because he is in combat with Reese.
Does he also have a shield?
He doesn't. I gave him.
Yes, I believe he was the one who was swinging a leg last time.
I think it was an arm.
Yeah,
it was a leg or
a handle weapon.
Yes.
In fact, as you look at him now, you can see that he has cuts all over his body. He's bleeding and breathing extremely heavily.
Okay. I'm gonna fire at that one then, and have aim plus attack. If with an aim then and he doesn't have a shield, that eliminates the
just a -10. Oh, you've got the yes, because you've got that ability. Yeah. It'd be flat.
Yeah. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna accept the penalty and I'm gonna fire 2 arrows just in case. So first one.
Well,
second one.
Did you really? So with a natty 1, you release and you fire the longbow.
Rip kneecaps.
Roll damage, and then I guess you can roll for another attack.
Okay. That's the damage. And that's the second damage.
Hang on, is your flat ballistic skill like
92?
90? Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Oh. Here's the thing. I'm very good at what I do.
Okay.
You don't do much.
No, fair enough. No, I can see how that would happen. You have dedicated all your XP to being an archer. So, yeah, okay. The first shot kills him. The first shot, you strike him in his pelvis. The arrow disappears into the beast's flesh as it cries out in pain. No, don't you need to roll hit location again?
I do believe 1 to 15, that's a headshot.
Okay, because you've just done a ballistic skill for the natural one and then done. That's why I was a little bit confused. So
I actually clicked the wrong button. Instead of clicking on I clicked ballistic skill.
Okay, no, never mind, because that's why I was like, hang on a minute, what? So yeah, your first shot you loose, and it strikes the creature in the head. You don't see the arrow as you quickly knock. You know you hit, and you don't see the arrow on the creature before you loose your second shot. It's only at that point that you glance up, and you see that its eyes have rolled into the back of its head, gush pouring from in between of its eyes as it falls to the floor, very much dead. You have no idea where that arrow went. You can look for it later if you want.
Oh, I know it went off somewhere into the woods.
So, on this turn, it would normally be the start of a new round. You hear this roar of a bestial creature, because I finally found a sound effect, coming from within the ruins. Ooh, don't do it twice. What? You're one of those sound effects. Glorious. Right. No, it stopped now. Maybe it just plays it twice. A bestial roar comes from within the ruins. A pained cry. This is a creature in distress. Something will happen on its turn, or the beastmen's turn. Olivia, you're up. The bottleneck continues. Well, you can step over the bodies of the creatures. It's only when they start piling high that I'll start giving you negatives.
Well, I guess I won't have to. I should be in range, right? Yeah, easily. So... I'll do a channeling roll.
Sure.
And that's 7 damage, that one.
So as you reach into the ether, you gather the winds around you, forming the magical dart in your grasp. You loose it and it flies true, striking the creature in the chest, I believe. No, in the right arm. So the dart smashes into the beast's clavicle, shattering it. Double check on this. Hang on. So add one more. Yes, shattering its clavicle. It gives out one last pained cry as it hits the floor hard. Ragnar has to hop back in his zone of control to avoid the beast. Ooh. It would get a parry. It parries one. Okay, you can, as your combat dies down, the last creature lets out its last cry and breath. You can still hear combat from the ruins, which is this away. It doesn't come up on my screen. Soon Raccoon. Show everyone. That way. And yes, you continue to hear the sounds of battle coming from that direction. Magness, you're up. And remember, it is Carla straight after Magnus's turn.
I know. Convenient, isn't it?
It is.
Let me just open the right character sheet. predicament, JC. I have no one to attack.
Could always go after the dead bodies.
Can I stand here?
Yep. Once the bodies start piling, it will say 2 and up. That's when you start taking negatives.
Alright. And Carla will also move to here. That's all I have for them.
Sure. I will just reveal a bit more of the map. So it is now Reese, the Spiteful's turn.
Who isn't here? Ah,
He's fortunately, someone is here, and it's almost as if he's here in spirit. So Reese comes up and gets a better bird's eye view of what's going on. That's probably a bit much. Ah, fuck it. We'll just coming down. He would actually see all of that, and his vision would probably go further. Okay, so Reese gets into position, and then he points out to warn the group that he can see more beastmen and what he thinks might be some women. Would he tell he's kind of spiteful, but they haven't done anything to him? They probably didn't pay their taxes. He wouldn't tell you about the people. Not just yet.
Do beastmen pay taxes?
No,
I think we haven't paid the taxes yet.
the woman there, she probably did, and the woman that you can't really see underneath the beastman, she probably did. Casper, you're up. You do also hear the cries of the women. I mentioned it last time, but I haven't mentioned it this time. They're still there.
I'll actually have a character shield.
I'm sorry, I can't deal with that music. I'm going to have to find some better music at one point. We can have chants for now. Chanting will work.
Chanting's pretty dope.
Then I can find out if that chanting is going to get me copywritten. Right. So Casper, you also see the women, the other beastmen, and I will basically, I'll give you all of that. Although maybe you can't see the skeletons. Maybe you can.
Probably not. This is a wall here.
Right. So, is that a dead one? No, that one is living. So this one charges. It charges 10. It can't charge. It runs. There. Next one. Can charge. Can charge. Completely fluffs it. This one gets one attack. Completely fluffs it. Next one is going to get close but won't move in. Next one, aha, these are the ones that you can see. So this one, hearing the cries of its comrades, is going to move closer. But it was busy, so it only had a half move. Actually, was that a half move? I didn't measure it. I just did it quick. That's a half move.
Yeah, close enough.
I was quite
Wouldn't
close.
it be a quarter move?
No, because it's a half move is only 5 for them. Full move's 10 minutes run. They both have to use a half action to stop what they were doing.
No. I meant it in the way of giving him a quarter move.
Ah.
I just got it that you misunderstood me. No worries.
Blackhand, it is your turn as your comrades move up.
Can I power through? Like here?
So if you want to move through the woods, it's double your movement. So it's rough terrain. So for you,
20 movement
yeah.
in total.
So up to 4 moves.
I get something.
So
3 full moves.
most of you, so Ragnar, the elves, the other, sorry, not Ragnar, Blackhand, the elves, I believe, well, actually, no, I'll give it to the whole party. You've all seen these creatures move through the thicket, through the brambles and the hedgerow with speed. This terrain does not seem to hinder their movement as it does yours. So by all means, you can do it. Just
Guess I'll take the detour.
Cool.
9.
and again, Blackhand, if you wanted to go through the woods, they do still have to take a perception test to find you. As you look in, it's thick brambles, nettles, and it's not been manicured by people. This is very overgrown woodland area, although they're all fruit trees.
I'll wait. Nope. On to the left. I'll take the road. I'll run to there.
You have to come back a little bit because you're currently in too many squares of your comrades, but I will straighten you up. Oh, sorry, I keep grabbing hold of Ragnar. Why do you keep being attached to my clicker? There you go. You can go to there.
Nice feeling.
Some sweet dwarf on dwarf action here.
Well, actually, technically,
dear.
you can go like that
God.
because you're allowed one square in an allies and one square in the thicket.
Only enter with a quarter.
So, Ragnar, you were up.
You said we could see we all knew these were through
Yes, you can.
the bush.
I'll give it to you that Casper and Reese have pointed them out, and as you kind of squint through the overgrown tree area, you can see just the outlines of movement as you pay close attention, and you can definitely hear them.
I think Ragnar's probably just going to run ahead to try and get in front here.
Sure.
Just to try and shield his comrades as much as he could.
Sure, fair enough. You run out to try and make a meaty dwarven shield wall.
Meat shield, literally.
I tried not to say it, but Olivia, you're up.
Actually, it's me.
Sorry, yeah,
And-
Aurelia.
Let me just check something because is my movement half if I go through here, or is it 1/3 of the movement speed?
It's half, so it's double. So you'd need 20 to
Because
move through where Ragnar was.
I can move
Backhand.
up to here, and if I take a run action, I can move up to here.
You can't run through difficult. Could you run? It's not that far. I've sprinted through woods in paintball that was a manicured woods, but I have gone through brambles.
Because my full movement with running is 15, so I could potentially reach here. So I would move up to here, to here, and then use the rest of my movement to up here. So I would still have enough movement to basically kind of move through the woods.
Yeah, you'd be through the most difficult part of it. Sure, you can do that. I would need an agility test, or a toughness test, or a strength test to see how you're getting through. If Nuffle decides, bitch, no, you'll be denied. Anything other than, 1 degree of failure, you'll be fine. Also, because I forgot to mention it, because of your sterling work in the last episode, saving all those people, you all regain 1 fortune point.
Oh, let's see if I'm gonna need it.
Because you're not going to be sleeping. Okay, so
I'm gonna need it.
Both characters.
I'm gonna use that fate point. God damn it.
okay, so
So
you
I
stop
move up to here
halfway.
and I'm stuck here, I guess.
You stop. Well, it's a bit difficult to do half. You're basically there. You'll have to use. So in the next round, that's 4 movement rather than 2.
Oh, hold up, 4 movement? Because half my
4.
movement is
4.
5.
4.
Oh, 4.
Yeah, so rather than it being 2 squares, it's 4 squares for you to get out of the the woods. Only a little half move, and you're free. Actually, if you a bit.
Yeah. Okay, it's my turn.
Now it's Olivia's turn.
She will run up to there.
Sure.
There. Okay.
On this turn, you hear the knight's voice again.
So, you disgusting creature, you could not defeat me on your own, like I said. You are not worthy to claim my head. You bring your pathetic minions. I have had enough of this charade. You are not the struggler that I seek.
And for our resident finger wigglers, can you both give me a magic sense test?
Only elves?
Yeah, only no finger wigglers, not elves. Are mages.
It just so happens that half of our finger wigglers are mages. Elves, I mean. Damn it.
Same difference.
I don't get that.
Well, only one finger wiggler is an elf, so.
Not
Technically,
elf,
still half because we're 2 elves.
I mean, technically, Ragnar's a semi-finger wiggler.
No, you don't count. You're a dwarf.
No, you're
You're a stone cutter.
You're a tall wiggler. It's different.
Wield my mighty tools with great efficiency.
Yes, your tools are very big.
Oh,
God damn it! You fucking right. Fortune point. There we go. He succeeds.
Oh shit, he's got spells.
He doesn't have any of that anymore. So, oh no, bollocks. No, so he should have 2. And I'm doing it on the wrong bloody thing again. Right, so he's down to 1. You, Olivia, as you catch a moment, you feel the winds move in an odd way. You very quickly sense them around you. And you feel a mighty power gathering from within the ruins. This is not as evil as what you felt from the Chaos Carnival. It's not a twisted, corrupting aura. However, it is dark. It is blackness, and it is something that you would have been taught is something to be wary of and to never dabble in. You would clearly know that a necromantic art is being used. Another. Okay. So you get the sense that a spell has been cast. I have to cast it manually. No, I don't have to cast it manually. But I forgot to write down the spell. So it would be... spell book. It did add in his... So he has his spell, and I just need him to cast the number of dice, see if anything happens. Are you going to roll for me? Okay, Joy, that didn't roll for me, so right, let's just do that. Okay, the spell goes off, nothing bad happens. You feel a menacing aura come out from the ruins. It spreads like a oh god, I can never say that word. It spreads like a gas, like a corruption, a fear, a mist. And that's his turn. So, Magness, you're up.
As a reaction, I would call out that
Sure.
she feels star magic ahead.
Can I stand here?
And where?
Oh, sorry. I forget that you don't see me dynamically dragging the character when
Yeah.
I have the roller
No,
thing.
that's perfectly fine. There's one beast man on the floor, and you've got one square in the bush. That's fine.
And this is where Carla stands.
So Reese the Spiteful is going to hold. Yeah, he can hold. Casper, you're up.
I can't slip by here, can I?
You can freely move. You can move through your allies freely, or any NPC that allows it, that you're allied to or is friendly. It's only enemies that would stop you.
I'm just going to use a magical dart here. At the Ungor.
Sure.
So, chime.
Now he does have a shield, however, I don't think that affects. Oh, hang on. How did he have a shield? He couldn't have. Half action, remove item, half action move. So currently they have no weapons equipped.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling Magic didn't care about shields. It's kind of OP in that respect.
Hey.
So as you, Casper, well, you were already there, so you saw the move. So you see these creatures remove themselves from this poor woman who falls to the floor. They pull round, snarling, drool dripping from their twisted jaws, overgrown and bestial-like. They move towards you in an almost frenzy, panic stroke lustful, now that the aura has begun to spread and you would feel it. their joy and excitement has definitely turned to more of an animal fear, a overwhelming urge to get out of the area. You strike the creature in the chest. It has okay. So your magical dart doesn't actually. Where do you hit it in the body? Yeah. So your magical dart doesn't seem to do much damage to the creature, but it already seems in a bit of a panic and in shock. And your attack may have turned the odds in what happens next. So now I need to start doing other stuff. Willpower. You're currently next to your champion. You fail and run away. Oh god, I have to move you further. Okay, well you'd run further, but that will do for now. He takes an attack of opportunity. God damn it now. So far, so one of the beastmen has run away. Sorry, I forgot to push to talk down.
He failed his morale check. Good.
Yes, he failed his
Yeah,
willpower,
quite heavily.
Decided to save him.
and he's run away. The knight did a attack of opportunity, but sadly he missed. So the next one is over here. He now needs to do a willpower check. He fails, so he runs away. You can only do... Damn it, don't move. You can only do attacks of opportunities for your reactions in this, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
If anyone wanted to correct me, they could have, but it seems that no. He only gets one. He fubs his roll. The Ungor who ran up, he now needs to do a willpower check because he is in the zone of... He fails his... Jesus. Okay. He's going to run out this way because it's the closest exit. These ones out here, now they're much further away, so they do get a +10. Okay, well, he runs. He runs there. The other one is... Did I roll a... Oh, actually, good point. I can do these just with D100s, can't I? Doesn't matter. Okay, this one stays. So this one, seeing the group come towards him, is going to half action, draw weapon, and he has succeeded. So half action, I guess, move forwards. He succeeded his willpower roll, so I don't see why he wouldn't move forwards. Blackhand, you're up.
I lost my legs.
Sorry, what was that? What was that, Albie?
I think we may have lost him, Chief.
This. Earth to this. Earth to this. Please
Yes.
copy.
There you go.
There we go.
I may have pushed the wrong button. Hang on, let me. No. I seem to have. Never mind. So
Can I stand on corpses?
Finish it off, Getty.
yes, you can stand on corpses until they start piling up. None of the corpses are piled
So
up.
I can stand here.
You can stand there, yes, because you're only sharing one square with Magness and one square with Casper. So Ragnar, you're up.
What's my charge? 6.
Oh, I use that.
Did I charge attack him, or
You can indeed.
I think I'll give that a good old go. Finally, try to draw some blood. Is that a plus 10, isn't it?
Yep, plus 10.
Charge.
Yeah,
Ah,
it was close, but unfortunately, the gore just steps back as you come charging in. Livia.
Okay.
Aurelia, goddammit.
I'm going to move. I think all my movement here, so I'm out, kinda. Does this Angor here have a shield?
No. He is in combat, however. And it's a gore. Yeah, red ones are gores. I know they look exactly the same, but hey ho.
That's racist. Just because all the gores are mutated the same way.
Well, you see, the thing is, Ungors would look far more human, so they would look completely different. It's gores and up that look really bestial. So you fire your bow and you strike it in the back. Sadly, however, you do go through its armor, but it doesn't seem to penetrate very deeply into the gore's hide.
Okay, unfortunate.
Livia, you're up.
I'm gonna use Magic Dart on the go.
Oh.
Okay. So, you release the magic dart, firing it straight at the gore. You strike it in the right arm, and it has armor there, sadly enough. So your
Right leg, actually.
Oh.
right leg, yeah.
Sorry, my dyslexic brain. So it doesn't actually have armor there, so you do an extra point of damage. However, it's not a lot. Not a lot. It lets out a grunt of disappointment. On his turn, he's not going to do any more talking. He's just going to attack. He rolled 41 twice. So the beast gets to parry with a 17. It does. So only one attack goes through. Pathetic. But I should, because Aurelia can actually see far more. So technically you wouldn't see that, but other people can, and I'm getting a bit fed up of shrinking the map, so et voila.
What the?
Oh, damn.
You,
That's scary.
Aurelia, as you hear this battle going on, you fire a shot at the gore. You look round to see this ginormous beast of a creature howling and bleeding profusely as it has created a pile of blood. Magness, you're up.
Oh,
Just Mike, please. They're here, I suppose.
Cool. And Carla, you'd like to?
No, Carla will just stay put because she'll just get in the way.
Okay, fair enough. Reese is likewise going to stay back. He doesn't need to do much more than he has done. Casper, you're up.
Okay.
The huge thing, yes, it does get a +10 to hit.
Okay.
You get a +10 to hit it.
Oh shit, there's a Minotaur.
Beastagore, actually, but yeah.
Shish, it's a Minotaur.
I'm
That's
gonna do
racist.
channel and yeet. Okay, just a yeet.
I'm pretty sure that this Minotaur is also racist.
No, it isn't. It wants to fuck all the human women.
Yeah, equally.
Doesn't mean it's not racist.
Yeah,
It hates
that's-
everyone equally.
Yeah.
That's still racist.
So you strike him in the body with your spell. You do a lot more than your elven friend, but sadly his toughness and armor are still causing you problems. So that would be an extra... Ooh, actually, he's... Saying that strike combined with the other strikes is wearing him down. He is definitely slowing down and looking a lot worse for wear. I now need to do more willpower checks. I'm going to do these quickly GM style, because I know that they need to get a 25 to succeed. So these two... Damn it! Was it those two? Yeah, it is those two. These two run even further. They're gone. Because technically I didn't move them their full movement last time. So they go a little bit further this time, so they are off. The big beastie. Ooh, he hits. The other dude gets a parry with a natural 1. With a natural 1, I'm going to let him counter attack. With a 22, he hits. The Minotaur has its reaction back. It would parry. So, Aurelia, you just saw a pretty amazing display from this human-sized knight who is dancing and, at this point at least, showing off some incredible swordsmanship skills, parrying and deflecting attacks and re-engaging. But the creature itself seems to be putting up one last fight. Oh, gee. So he sees you guys, he tramples over the women as he runs off into the forest. The women are going to take 1d10 -2. I can't -2. I'll have to do it a KH1 or something or other. So she takes 2 damage. And no, she has toughness. She wouldn't... They have an 8-3 toughness. They wouldn't get any damage. The other one, which is further away now, so it gets a +20. It still fails massively. It runs off the map and is now nowhere to be seen. The other
They have
one,
how much toughness?
humans have an innate 3 toughness for an NPC, as do most creatures. I think goblins and Skaven slaves have 2. Everything else has kind of a 4 and up, or has lots of armor. These things don't really have armor, so they just have toughness.
31 is the average human stat, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard 83 for some reason.
Oh.
Oh.
I was like, oh the fuck.
What human is this?
It's very tough women have survived a lot of locking up there.
So, the Gore that's in combat with Ragnar, he is in combat, so he's not going anywhere. He strikes at Ragnar, +10. But he misses. He had 1 chance. Blackhand, you're up.
Do I have 3 lines of fire?
With a blunderbuss, no. Remember, dude, everything in the line is a target. So you draw
You're
a line.
firing
everything.
a shotgun for all intents
Yeah,
and
I know.
purposes.
I was just wondering if I had line of sight on this one.
That's the elf.
He knows what
I
he
mean,
said.
you already stole a kill, and if you now want to shoot me, I mean,
Sorry,
So,
got
no.
confused.
If you
Sure
want
you
to
do.
shoot an ally, there are
Goddamn
easier ones to
frontline.
shoot. But no, currently you don't have sight on
Can
any of
I
them.
charge this guy?
I don't think there's enough. No, there is enough space. If you went to here, there would be enough space. You're charging through your allies; they would allow it. So yes, you could. Oh, hang on. Have you got your blunderbuss out then, or have you got your?
I
No, you have your axe
honestly
out.
don't think so.
You have your axe out because you performed a melee attack against the two dudes over
Yep.
here.
Last thing I did was kill Seal, and then I did nothing.
So you could move to there and do a charge attack.
Right, sorry, but I will have to refresh my memory.
Plus 10 to your attack.
Alright. Nope, not with the dagger, with the axe. You can say he did not get axed. He gave his line of work.
He just steps to one side. Oh, hang on. No, you are still 10 off. And so, also I should make this clear now. Normally you'd get a ganging up bonus. I only allow the ganging up bonus once you've entered combat. So when you charge into combat, you don't get the ganging up bonus. But from this round on, you and Ragnar both get a plus 10 for ganging up. But you still would have missed either way. Aurelia. Sorry.
You've missed me.
Yeah, sorry, I double clicked then. What? Wait, Ragnar, you're up.
It's alright. I'm gonna really try and aim my hit and try and knock this guy's head off.
Sure. You get an extra plus 10 because your dwarven comrade has entered the fray. So now you get a plus 20.
There we go. Didn't quite hit the head, but
You strike him. Hang on a minute. Isn't a 0... Oh no, because it goes 0-4, doesn't it?
yeah, so it'd be 4-0.
Yeah, 0-4, so it becomes 40.
Yeah.
I love that.
So let me, because sadly he does have a hand weapon, so he does get a parry chance. But he fails. So do your damage, sir.
I'd already rolled damage,
Oh,
sorry.
shit, sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
So with 11 damage done, you hit him in the arm. He does have armor there. So drop the hammer, sir.
Well, he's dead.
Certainly is.
It's cut right through his bicep, and his arm falls to the ground. And he collapses with it.
With a bestial cry, the creature is dead. Aurelia, you are now up.
And I currently don't see any more monsters. And I don't think actually I should see this one, right? But
Yes.
if I shoot, I'm technically shooting through this too.
Yes, you can't shoot it from there because you'd be shooting through the... Basically every bush, everything is a really thick overgrown. You wouldn't be able to get through the solid squares of... Technically, there's only a square hole that you can all get through. I'm allowing the... Sorry, so it'd be these two squares, but I'm allowing the extras because they're technically... The walls crumbled away. So you only have these 4 squares. Ooh, no, sorry. Why is it not going from... There we go. You only have these 4 squares that you can really see through and move through easily. There is, of course, a doorway down at the bottom.
Aldo really wants to help the women. We're gonna rush forward, and she's gonna run here. Because there are still more beastmen to kill.
Sure. Give me a perception test as you enter this area.
Perception.
Okay. So as you enter the ruins, you can see very clearly that there are corpses, skeletons, arrayed along the walls, high up. It's much higher than the map would show. It's in the eaves. Each one is hanging limp. They all seem to have their heads slightly turned, ever so slightly, so it gives the illusion as if they are all looking in this direction. Even these skulls at the front of the door have their heads turned, try and look over their arms in this direction. As you scan about the room, you can see that there is, of course, a massive beastigore that is doing battle with what you presume is a human knight. There's a woman in the corner who is currently just curled up in a ball, just sobbing and weeping and crying, just trying to just be as small as possible and disappear into the corner of this ruin. With 3 degrees of success, you'd be drawn to the corpse that lies up against the wall. A magnificent sword is stamped into the floor, and his arms have been laid atop the hilt of the sword. It looks as if he's been laid there, although you can see the flesh wouldn't even be called leather, weathered leather at best. But you also note several arrows stuck into the ground. With 3 degrees of success, you only see there are arrows in the ground.
Okay, that's technically all I can do.
Olivia, you're up.
Seeing that all current threats are dealt with, Olivia would run forward to here, as she tries to get to the women.
Sure.
Help them.
So, he has technically been revealed now. So, he gets his 2 attacks. It is 2, isn't it? Yeah, it is 2. Okay. Doubly check. He's going to allow that. Now, the Beastigore, it has not parried. No, sorry, it did parry in the last back and forth, so it cannot do any more damage. I could not have planned this bet. Motherfucker, it's on GM fucking whispered, you bastard. So, because I'm a moron, it was on GM whispered. I will call out the rolls, and that will be that. So he attacks with his sword. He rolls a 5, needing a 55. The Beastigore cannot make another parry, but his second attack misses. His first attack, however, deals an Ulrich's Fury, dealing 15 damage. So he now rolls again with his target of 50. And sadly he misses. He deals 15 damage to the Beastigore. I know for a fact that it was losing this fight. He leaps up into the air, stabbing his sword into the Beastigore's clavicle, shattering the bone and driving the blade deep. He rips down. Aurelia, you and you alone see what happens next. His helm lifts up. You don't see his face as his movements are too quick, but you see his face sink down into the Beastigore's wound. As he rips his sword down, his faceplate removes, or his helm removes, and you see red drenched over the knight's face as his faceplate falls back down. His blade is not removed. As his feet hits the ground, he wrenches his sword through the beastagle's chest. As the creature lets out one last cry, it falls to the floor. Magness, you are up. Albie, can you remove your ruler, please?
Oh,
Can I,
sorry.
Can I go to this
got
place?
Sure.
Or is it technically
No,
I'm
that's
standing
fine.
on two?
No, I'll allow like little snippets. You've only got one green, and
Now,
the other
because
three are.
I'm sharing them with Riz. Okay, so Carla will just take a step forward.
Sure. Reese, hearing that battle has died down somewhat, is going to move in. He wouldn't be able to move that far. Move back a bit. He's going to move in to get a better view. Casper, you're up. Casper?
Is he
Oh,
dead?
I'm sorry, I was muted.
No, that's
I'm-
perfectly fine.
Running up there.
Righto. For all of you, you all heard the cry of the beasticle die. There's no more sound now, except from the sobbing and weeping from the women, collectively. Blackhand, you're up. And how did you get your ruler to stay there for so long?
Yeah.
I thought that I had clicked it away and started looking in the rulebook.
Yeah,
It's still here for me.
I don't know how it's...
Oh, it's gone.
I refreshed, it disappeared.
Maybe if you tap out, while it's still there.
No, it's gone now. I don't know how you were able to get it to stay
Don't
there.
do it
though.
again.
Yeah. I know there's a way you can get the
Press shift.
ruler to stay on the screen, but I couldn't remember how.
Oh.
Yeah, you're up, Blackhand. The sounds of battle have ended.
Did I saw the boss leave?
Sorry?
I start looting their stuff. If you're out of initiative.
You're not out of initiative time. You can, if you think the sounds of battle have died down, all you can hear is women at the moment and your comrades. If you think that's a good time to start looting, then sure, you can...
Oh, anyone get away, so I would presume well, first thing I would do then is reload my blunderbuss.
Sure, okay. So you spend the next couple of turns reloading your blunderbuss.
Yeah, and if nothing happens, I would start
But
looting.
we'll get there when we get there. You start reloading your blunderbuss for this turn. Ragnar, what would your move be?
Probably make sure I'm on ruler and not draw shapes, because that would be bad. Run over towards the women to try and make sure that they are okay if it sounds like there's no more fighting going on.
Sure, okay. As you move closer, you can see that they are both... I'll give them a chance. Let's see how... One of them is definitely worse than the other. The one that's on the floor is just curled up. She has blood all over her legs. Her arms are badly scratched, cut and bruised. Her body as well is covered in cuts. Lots of small cuts and just big bruises. And basically been brutalized. The other woman seems to have had a lesser of a horrific time. she's just sobbing, but you can hear her say, "Oh, Sigmar, thank you. We're saved." Aurelia.
I'm gonna still have my bow ready. And I'm gonna move inside. I'm gonna look at the knight and I wanna roll perception again.
Sure.
Because something feels off.
Sure.
And I don't know if I understood it correctly, but did the knight sink his teeth into the beast now?
You don't know. He may have headbutted the neck. He may have tried to just in the moment just bite the creature, but he does have blood all over his helmet running down his neck. But his faceplate is like one of the Monty Python style, where the whole face lifts up.
Oh god damn it, my perception. I'm just looking around, but I'm still too focused on the knight. Something feels too weird for me.
Sure.
I don't drop my gun.
So hang on, let me just think. So you've done basically a half action move and then perception. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So Livia.
Yeah, I will half move over to the woman who's lying on the ground. If I can.
Sure. Yep. You can get close enough to receive her and check her.
I could move there.
I'll give you an extra.
Okay.
As you're doing something, you're helping the individuals here. Sure.
Ragnar's not that big anyway. Fine.
What you lack in height, you make up in girth, my friend. or was it width? I can never remember.
It's both.
He's a girthy boy.
Should I do a heal test or
Yep.
perception?
By all means, you can do a heal test just to. Essentially, you're not going to be doing anything just yet. You're just checking their wounds and to see. I'll give you for both of them as this is looking. You quickly surmise that these women have been brutally gang raped. There's no nice words or way to look at this, but much like the other women you saw, one of them is handling it better. The other one is far worse off. You think that you could help them? You think that you could help them, but much like the other women from the cart, getting their trust is going to be more important now. But their lives are not in immediate danger. Would be they're going to be okay, but you can't do that much for them at the minute.
Okay, I'll leave them alone for now.
Because you're looking, would you say anything to the group?
No, not really.
Okay, cool. So, the night. Casper, you hear a voice in your head. Are these with you, struggler? Or are they more challengers to my crown?
They're with me. They're not challengers.
Aurelia, you hear the knight through his helm.
You are not the one I seek. Stay out of my business. Unless you wish to share the fate of your kin.
I'm gonna raise an eyebrow and say, "Charming, a human comparing me to a beastman. Are you blind or just stupid?"
Naive are old eyes, it seems.
Magnus, it's your turn.
I would hobble my way ever so close.
The voice is not booming anymore. It's not as it was when you first got here. This is more of conversation for level. So you can all hear someone else talk. It's a ruin. There's not a lot here. It would echo. So you can all hear it. But it sounds the same as the voice, but it's not as loud, basically. It's not as booming. So you shuffle your way forwards, is that right, Magnus?
Yes.
Cool. And does Carla do the same?
Same.
Reese, seeing the women, he's going to move forwards.
Can I get some taxes?
You know what? He's going to run. Hang on, for a human, it's 12? Yeah.
12, yeah.
Casper, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna move. There. The full move.
Okay. I will give it to you that you now see the night. Right.
Casper gulps audibly.
From this point on, it's going to be a bit of story time movement. So, essentially, I'm going to give you all 3 turns in which to complete your actions. So, for example, as we're moving on to Blackhand, you have 3 turns. So you're reloading your blunderbuss. So I believe you've done 1 turn. So you need to do another turn. Blackhand? Albie? Okay, we've lost him. So, for any of you who want to enter the ruin, you may do so. You can enter, but try to measure out your movement. If you can get into the ruin before your 3 turns, you can have an action. If that's to look around, again, I will give you all a free perception as you walk into the ruins. If you wish to stay outside, you can stay outside. Reese, for example, is going to step towards the ladies and say, I am Reese, I'm with the Lord. We have safety, carriages. Come with me, could still be dangerous. The women won't really do much other than stay exactly where they are and kind of sob and whimper. But this one will shuffle her way over. The other woman, I will give her... Hang on, did she had 1 beast man. Let's give her a roll. Oh no, she's catatonic in the corner. She doesn't realise that safety has come. So Blackhand, just so that we're fair, he spends 1 turn reloading and then he moves up to the entrance alongside with Magness. Casper, you also get the 3 movement, 3 turns to move up. And Claire, would you stay where you are?
Just 2.5.
Damn it, Carla.
Magnus says he'd BRB.
Okay. So,
What about Carla?
Ragnar would move up and simply see the woman in the corner and try to talk to her. And if
Okay.
she stayed catatonic, turn round and kind of protectively stand between her and the knight.
Okay. So, can Casper, Ragnar, and Albie, if he's here, give me perception checks. Olivia, are you going to stay with the women?
Yeah.
Well. And Olivia, you can give me a another perception check as your comrades are moving in around you.
I'm actually going to move this side of the. If I can. I want to move here.
Yep.
To have a different angle and allow everybody to surround the knight, basically.
Sure.
And if I can, I will again try to assess the situation.
Sure. Cool. Olivia, do you want to stay out there? You have three turns to do movement if you want to get into position.
I'm down here, but I think they want to get charged straight away.
Amazing. I'm giving my players a chance to like surround and position.
No, so I was saying she spent 2 turns tending to the women and giving them water, and would then move behind Magness.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, considering most of you have failed, but one of you succeeded. Actually, you've got a decent number of degrees of success there. I believe that's 4 degrees of success, which actually I think is... Oh no, it's one higher than Aurelia's before. So, Livia, as you come to the entrance, or to the hole in this ruin, you can't really make out the knight. But as you look down, you see this sword stuck in the ground, with arms drooping over the hilt of the blade. It's a large 2-handed sword. It glimmers in a way that only Mithril? No, we're going to say Mithril. The only way that Mithril can. It glimmers and glows. And as you look at the arms that droop over the patchy, aged, leathered skin that hangs off the bones, those arms are remarkably long, and that head that has been sat upright against the wall with the arms over the hilt of the sword, it looks surprisingly elfish. And then your eyes are brought as the sun moves round to the arrows that litter the floor. With 4 degrees of success. These are elven arrows, although you cannot see the tips. No steel or wood arrow would stick in stone like that. You may have found some of the items that you were sent to quest for. Blackhand, are you back? Apparently not at the moment. Sorry. So I can't see Discord. If you do post anything there, I have to manually check it, and I'm lazy and sometimes forget to. But
He wrote that his computer's acting up.
Yeah. So we'll say that Blackhand is fully reloaded, moved his turn, so we are going to take it to the only person who is relevant at this moment in time. Reese, be gone. We don't need you. Casper,
Harsh.
as you enter the ruin, you hear the voice in your head. So, struggler, you have come, and now you must choose. The voice in your head stops, but the night carries on. The fates of this land... Oh, sorry. He lifts up his... Oh, hang on. No, he keeps his faceplate down. God damn it. Keeps his faceplate down. The fates of this land lie with my own. One of you will choose. Will you leave this land as it is? Allow calamity to run freely? A curse laid upon me by powers you cannot understand. Will you try to vanquish me and take my head? Will you claim your trophy and ascend to darkness? Or free me from my curse and allow us to rest in peace? So, struggler, what will you choose? Now, sadly, Black Hand's computer is fucking up.
I'm back.
Ah, he's back.
Oh,
I've been moving in chat.
So, Black Hand, you have an option
What
here.
did I miss?
But you have an option here. I gave the group 3 turns to do whatever they wished. They could move up if they wanted, they could reload, or they could do perception tests, skill checks. I've moved you to the door and reloaded your weapon.
Okay, that's fine.
So, Blackhand, as you move towards the door, someone has been with you this whole time, but you have ignored them. You have been callous. You have not cared or shown any sympathy. You have been as the stone, which is much like your people, but here it has served you little. You have kept your possessions closed off from your comrades, so they have not known the struggles that you've gone through. They have not been able to aid you. At this moment, you know nothing about what you should have done. And you will not be rewarded for these actions. The ghost of the woman steps past you, uncaring, leaving your presence. As she steps past you, an arm comes through your very soul. Black Hand, you feel nothing but regret and sadness. You feel as if you have failed in a quest, and thus you remain hollow from this experience. For those of you who are...
that.
I'm afraid not.
I think you would be glad to see the ghost leave.
For unfortunately, that's just how it goes. You didn't inquire with the ghost, you didn't make any chance to communicate, so you never learnt of her quest. So as her arm moves through you, that is what she gives you. An empty feeling that you did not fulfill a duty. But you never inquired to know that you had to fulfill. Yeah. As the ghost steps past you, and you get this feeling deep down in your soul, she crosses the threshold to the ruins, and immediately you can all see this stunningly beautiful woman. She's in a dress as if she has just come from a magnificent ball. It's simple in fabric and design, but the way she wears it is just elegant, and she could almost be royalty or a princess, nobility. Yet the look on her face is just that of someone mourning their lost child. She walks in and you can all see her now. She looks around at the ruins, the crumbling walls. She sees the skeletons arrayed along the walls. She collapses to the floor. She howls out, but you don't hear a word. You just see her crying in utter misery and despair. She looks upon the skeletons arrayed upon the wall. For some of you, you question what you're seeing. For others, those more tuned to the magical realms, so Livia and Caspar, you can almost see the emotions in the winds of magic now as it pulses out. You can feel her sadness as she looks upon the corpses, and then her eyes fall to the night. You see her pulling at her hair, writhing on the ground, screaming, but there's no sound. The night does not see.
So, struggler, what will you choose?
You can all have an action as Casper thinks about something that he may not even have all the information about. You can all have an action. If you want to move at this point, you can move. If you want to do a perception, you can do a perception.
So, just to recap, the ghost attacked the knight?
No, the ghost is on the floor crying. As you... Yeah, it's just crying and just...
And everyone sees her.
Yes, now once she entered the ruins, everyone could see her, except from apparently the knight.
So the knight said, kill him and claim his head, or free him of his curse?
Yes, you can leave him. You can leave him be.
Can I shoot a ghost?
You can. I won't stop you.
Where is the ghost?
Ragnar's probably
Oh,
in the middle of walking towards
You
the
better
ghost.
hope those are some
That
enchanted
poor
bullets,
woman,
mate.
seriously.
No. If he wants to fire upon the ghost, he clearly may not know what ghosts can do. It's fine.
It's not common knowledge what you just said, yes, you know.
Very true. Very true. He may not believe, which is even better.
That was all out of character.
So, out of character. I think I'm doing something really bad now.
So, it's difficult to explain because here's the thing: when a GM puts a quest handle.
No. I'm just purely talking about shooting the ghost.
Shooting the ghost, you have to. No one can tell you if you want to shoot the ghost. If you think Ragnar would be offended by what's happened and would shoot the ghost, then that's what. Sorry, not Ragnar. If you think that's what Black Hand would do,
Wait.
then
Question first. Does Black Hand realize the other people can see the ghost now too?
I imagine everyone's looking at a woman has just appeared in a ball gown of mediocre materials. I imagine everyone's like, what the fuck? Why can't we hear her?
So my character would realize he is physically manifested.
You don't know about physically manifested. You know that everyone can see her now. She's not just a thing that's following you. And Jazina, I can hardly hear you if you're there. And
Sorry, my mic was up again. Sorry.
is that where you want your characters to be?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want...
Can I go on Overwatch instead? Since I'm not sure if she's hittable.
You can go on Overwatch if that's what you think you want to do. If you want to point a gun at the general direction of a woman who's crying on the floor, well, a ghostly woman who's got crying on the floor, and a knight, who has blood all down his neck. Sure, that's your action. So, sure, we'll go down through the initiative. So you all have one full action. Essentially, you have one turn to do whatever you would like at this point. This is meant to be a time when Casper thinks upon his answer. Casper, you can, if you want to ask for more information on your turn, ask.
Sure.
So, Magness, what would you like to do?
I think.
Magness,
Sorry, yes?
what would you like to do with your 2 turns? Magnus has a full turn to do whatever he would like.
I'm gonna say I need to roll willpower first, because this is probably the first time Magnus has ever seen a ghost.
Cool.
He's just probably standing there muttering.
She's not hostile, so she isn't giving off the fear. Like, you don't feel malevolence coming off her that would make you roll fear.
Yeah, but again,
sure.
Magnus the simpleton just seen a ghost for the first time in his life.
Sure, fair enough. So, Carla, what would her turn be?
She would probably... Now... Any common knowledge, like folk tales of ghosts or something?
Loads.
Is that something?
There's loads. You can roll for common knowledge. You're going to get a lot of information though, because it's common and most of it's nonsense.
Never mind. She doesn't do it.
You know of ghosts. They're common
They
enough
exist.
to know that they exist. You know that there are good and bad, in that some will kill you and some will just leave you be.
She's probably starting to, not in panic, but in haste, clutching all of the symbols of the gods she has with her, all of them.
Sure. Casper. Essentially, Casper, you can have a bit more time, a couple of actions if you want to ask me out of character, for more information.
Yeah, so he did give me, was it 2 or 3 choices?
You have 3 choices.
So
you can cure him, you can leave, or you can kill him.
Okay, so decursify him, kill him, or leave.
Yeah. You know that from the stories that you were told and the stories that you read, the play and everything is linked. So you know that this individual, and now perhaps give me an intelligence check to see if you can put together the woman, the ghostly figure on the floor.
51% chance.
I will give you a +10 to it. Well, you succeeded.
Hey.
You've put together that the woman on the floor is the peasant girl from the story, the girl that the noble stole. That's got to be the reason why, because Magnus, I believe, told you that there were old ruins up here, and
Yeah.
Someone did.
Oh, sorry,
It
not
was Carla.
Magnus. Yeah, it was Carla. And from what you've been told, you can put that together. Her reaction, I'll give you to take into that she didn't know that this has happened. That her reaction is someone who has stumbled upon their family that's been brutally tortured and killed. And you would gather from your dreams and from what you learnt in the Chaos Sorcerer's book, that this was clearly a curse or a gift of some sort. Since he said cure him, you gather that to him this is a curse. This is something bad, basically.
Okay.
You can ask him for more information. You were meant to have more information, but yeah.
Sorry. Also, just for the record, I was planning on changing tactics after this session, so...
It's fine. It's okay.
No, I'll call out. How do I cure you of the curse? How would I cure you of the curse?
You cannot cure me. You would take the curse on upon yourself and free my soul and the souls of my beloved and my family. You would need to remain uncorrupted and remove the curse from your own mortal body. Or that's not completely correct, but...
He shrugs.
I'm calling bullshit.
Was that in character? Just from outside? Bullshit.
No, that was out of character.
Oh.
It's not my turn yet.
I guess I can still ask him something.
Cool.
This?
Sure.
Can I still ask him something?
Yeah.
What exactly is your curse? I don't know.
I am bound. I cannot tell you that.
Of course, not easy.
So, we'll go through and let you think upon that for a second. Blackhand did his action of Overwatch. Ragnar, did you want to... I believe you said you were going towards the woman on the floor?
Yeah, make my way towards the woman on the floor and try to almost rest my hand on her shoulder to ask her how we can help.
As you reach down, you find premise for your hand. It feels solid as you place your hand upon the air. It feels as if she is there. You hear a voice in your mind. He did this for us. He did this to save me. He has fallen so far. Yet... She stops wailing. Tears still stream down her face, but she looks up at the night. He is still there. I know it. Please save him. And that is your turn. Olivia. Hang on. Aurelia. God damn it.
I really just had a thought. And I think that thought is enough to shift her moral alignment down a little bit. But for now, she's gonna... I want to look at the body next to me and the arrows. I also would like... Technically, this is 3 things, but I also would like to try to burn in my memory what the symbol of his shield looks like, or his Sal's crest.
So on his... So as you look upon the knight as he stands there, you would note that all of his armour is burnt. All of his armour shows the signs of burnt burn marks going up. The paint that was once his family sigil is long burnt away. There are no sigils of the family house within that you can see anyway. Perhaps an investigation of the grounds later on could find an intact sigil. The body and the arrows you can look at. If you give me a perception... Oh, you just did.
7 degrees of success. Oh yeah.
So, you can clearly see that these... that the corpse next to you is of elven... It's an elven corpse. You can see that the sword is the elven relic. The elven sword from the Drinkar house. It is a Thalmar. What's the right word? It's the bloody elven metal. Is a Thalmar, I think. It's a great sword. It was given to an elf who was known as he was called Zoko, the Slayer of the Herd. He was last seen around 1,200 years ago as he chased off a beastman herd that had attacked your home forest. You can also see, because all the elves got this document and they all read it at one point. You can also see that there are at least, as you glance around with your 7 degrees of success, 8 because you get 1 for passing, that there are 9 Thalmar arrows. These arrows were, within your people, were called the Starlight arrows. They were made by your ancestors out of a Thalmar blade, and were used against the Necromancer army that attacked your people, or they were created then. These arrows, for reasons, give you +5 range and +1 damage. They can never be broken or, well, lost. If you die with them, they're lost. The Starlight arrows actually glow once fired and will provide a small amount of light, that to a candlelight. There are 20 altogether, and they were lost 600 years ago.
I'm gonna, if I can, I'm gonna give a nod to Olivia, and I'm gonna grab the sword and start collecting the arrows.
Do not touch them! You are not worthy of taking them. If only he were strong enough, he would have taken my head and ended this one way or the other. Until I die, I respect that champion, and you will leave him where he lies. Out of respect.
I train my blunderbuss on him.
Aurelia will actually... she's gonna look behind her shoulder. And she's gonna say, oh, worry not. There is a way for us to, well, clear you of your curse, I believe. She has a weird smile on her face. And she'll go, and this belongs to my people, so this champion was of my people, and this sword belongs with his family.
Touch it, and I will cleave your head from your chest, from your neck. He was a champion who nearly took my life. Thus I respect him, and have left him undesecrated. He slew the beasts that came here to decimate this land, and the calamity that would have fallen here. Yet again, the calamity that follows me. The calamity that follows any and all strugglers.
So, what you're telling me is that you're going to try to deny a holy relic of my people unless we kill you.
Once I no longer remain here, I cannot protect him. or his relics. What you do with them then is up to you. But for now, I am guardian over him. And the rest.
As he says the rest, he does look up to the corpses arrayed along the walls. Well, skeletons. By all means, if you want, so for character information, if you fight him, you can use them. You can take a turn in combat to pick them up. If you attempt to pick them up, you will initiate combat. At the moment, there's a red hand that's hovering over all of them.
Since it's my go, would Livia recognize the ghost, the presence on the stage?
Give me a magical sense with a +10, as you feel as if you know this mark. You know, you felt this before. So as you look upon the woman as she appears, you can see that there is just this very small twinkle. And you recognize it from the one from the stage. And I'll give you that you kind of lean over past Magness to try and get a bead on the knight. Although darkness surrounds him, there's an evil that just seems to almost cover him, but it never touches him. It just swells. That's the word I was looking for. This darkness just swells around him, constantly trying to get at him, but there's still this light. This pure light that dwindles and dies from time, and you can see this darkness strike at him. But it's always just gets its a hold upon him before the light again comes to life and the darkness is pushed away. Her, like light, seems much stronger, it's still far brighter, whereas his is dying. You can see the darkness is slowly draining, biting away.
Okay, out of character to Albi, try showing him the mirror.
Out of character, I don't think Blackhand would think of that unless you ask it.
I don't know about the mirror. That's the main issue.
It's one of those things, Blackhand, that if you feel, because you've been the only one who's seen this ghost. So if you feel as if every time I've seen this ghost, I've had the mirror, but I don't have the mirror now. So it's happened to you enough times that you may think about it. But again, it is up to you and your character.
Lord question. Do dwarves know about tethered ghosts and stuff?
You know about ghosts. You know that they're commonly a human thing. As far as I'm aware, no dwarven ghosts have ever arisen. A few dwarven corpses. The white dwarf apparently is a dwarven corpse that rose from the dead, but it's not like you know of them. You've heard tales of them from bards, and that's.
Precise question. Would I know that ghosts can be linked to stuff, and that curses can be linked to objects?
You know nothing about curses, objects. That's something you would need to have. Like, you would know that there are stories, but stories and facts are very, very much different. And because you're not
so I know that it's a possibility.
Yes, it's definitely a possibility because stories do exist.
Then I think I would look for the mirror.
Sure. As well.
I mean, unless you want. Wait.
On his turn.
I'll let Neville decide.
Well, no, because it's so I've crafted this around so that these sorts of things would, bumble their way.
Just checked if I would think of it. If I would be smart enough to connect the dots.
So, on his turn, he looks around at all of you. He does not look at the ghost. Blackhand, his gaze does turn to you. Would you draw the mirror?
I would draw the mirror cautiously and be ready to drop it.
So, as he looks at you, you're pulling the mirror out from your breast. You have no idea how it got there, but every time you've gone to pull it from there, it's been in your hand. And this time is no different. For those of you around, Blackhand has nothing in his hand. You do not see the mirror anymore. Not since he smelted it down. But
He definitely smoked the mirror. He smoked that dank mirror.
I mean, there could have been some smokes inhaled during the melting.
Basically, you've inhaled the curse, which is basically what. Yeah. You bring forth a mirror. Everyone else sees you just clutching air. The knight, you can see his neck visibly draw back as...
How have you come into possession of that?
He found it on the road.
Where?
Close by on the river banks. It was in a chest. I found it during one of the repairs of my ship under the water.
So, the knight moves forwards. He actually moves
I
more.
shall keep your distance.
He reaches out for the mirror from you, Blackhand.
I pass the mirror alongside the ground with the glass up so that it doesn't get damaged.
He growls as he kneels down and picks up the mirror. As he holds it, it is as if it is the most valuable possession in the entire world. As he picks up this item, which you will see Blackhand kind of kneel down and slide air across to him, the knight picks up a golden mirror. A golden mirror with a small, I believe I said ivory, back. He holds it in his hands. He opens his faceplate. Casper, you have visions for the next couple of turns. You have visions that show you more of your choice. You have the option, and you alone have this option right now. You can take upon this curse onto yourself, and unfortunately, unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you what this curse is. I'm not a complete Judas.
I think this is more appropriate.
There is a cure to this curse within the game. This could send your character crazy. There is a very high likelihood. But at the same time, you would know that this fits into at least one of your goals. One of the goals that you told me. So it is up to you. You will have a choice once you accept, however. There are 5 choices that you can make. But, as you see these visions, you would know that calamity follows anyone who has this curse. some of these visions show you like a bird's eye view of this place, of how this knight has stayed here for centuries. And yet for centuries, beastmen have come, cultists have come, evil has come to this place to challenge him, and you see him slay them all. It is up to you to decide. If you choose not to, you don't have to fight him, but the elves will not be able to remove any of the artifacts from this location. You could perhaps come back at a later date, if someone else doesn't kill the knight first. Or you can try to fight him. You see no wounds on him.
Ragnar will probably speak up as he sees whilst all of the handing over of the mirror is going on, and say, we need to figure out how to save him. That's what she needs, him saved.
As he takes the mirror, Ragnar, you would definitely hear this, and I'll give it to all of you.
My Anna Maria.
As he says, Anna Maria, you see, I'll give Olivia, you see the light glow brighter. Ragnar, you see you all see the ghost look up towards the knight. She stopped crying now, she's regained herself. Her cheeks are dry as she wipes the tears away with her ghostly clothing. Somehow makes a difference. And stares up, almost expecting him to turn round and see her.
How do you know of her, dwarf?
What name did you say?
He said dwarf, and he turns away from you, Ragnar.
No, I was referring to his mumbling of Anna Maria.
Anna Maria. That's the woman's name. That's the ghost's name.
So, I guess you're the knight. That was from who she was stolen.
She's right here. She's right next to me.
Do not mock me. How do you all know of her?
They changed your tale. They made you the necromancer.
Out of character, I know that she's dead. I saw it in the vision, in the dream, didn't I? That she was the mutant or something.
You saw her waste away to basically nothing, but she kept on this. You saw her die, but she just kept on with this belief that he will save me, he will come.
Okay.
And he kept up to that bargain in a way. He wasn't stopped, and even after defeat, something aided him. So, Caspar, what would your decision be?
I'm gonna take the curse.
Okay. So,
Ballsy.
let me open up. You'll have to forgive my spelling because, of course, it's terrible. But you will now have a handout called the Struggler. You must pick from one of the options that are available. I have put in special rules, and I have handcrafted some of these so that you will not be stigmatized too much for your curse. Caspar, in your mind, you accept. In your mind, you say, Yes. The knight stops his talks with the dwarves. He lifts up his helm, removing it completely. You see a gaunt white face with blood all around the lips and mouth. Struggler, thank you. You have released us all, and I pity you so. As he laughs I can never say that word. Maniacally, you see a light begin to shine upon each of the skeletons. As the light shines, you see skin become a ghostly skin covers them all. As you see the light grow, he looks up at each and every one. As the light grows and the skeleton turns to dust, and you see the light shoot up into the heavens. He watches as each one slowly disappears, as a light for each soul shoots up into the heavens. You have no idea what you've done. The debt that can never be repaid. I can never do enough. But tell you, you must find, as he steps forwards to tell you, he sees the ghost. My Anna Maria. How? You see the ghost in human form. She grabs hold and clutches the knight tightly, the dancing prince. His armor shatters and turns to rust. You see the two hold each other close before they turn to light and are gone. Casper, before they disappear, you hear a woman's voice in your head. You must find a blue rose. That is how you break the curse. Thank you. And they are gone. And we are out of combat time, as they both disappear. There is no more guardians. There are no more guardians protecting this place. Casper, give me a willpower check. As you all stare in shock, disbelief, you don't know what happened. The knight was talking to the dwarves one moment, and then laughing the next. Casper, as the light disappears, you scream in pain, howling at the top of your lungs. Uncontrollably, you fall to the floor, clutching at your face, screaming. So, quick little... The last two on the list, I believe. You were able to see the list, right?
Yeah.
So the last two on the list, I believe it's the last two, you cannot pass for human. It's only the top three where you can pass for human.
So I pick one of the first four.
There should be five altogether. If it moves about, it's because I've opened it up. You've got the first one. You've got the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. Each bullet point is one house, I believe. Oh, sorry, I've missed one. There should be another bullet point in there. The gaze one should also be a option. Should have put numbers, really. That would have...
2, 3, 4. So I pick one of the... I only see 4 houses.
There's the bat one.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Okay.
So if you want a minute, you can't answer the group for a couple of moments. For the rest of you, how would you like to act now?
Real quick.
I would like to keep looking around suspiciously.
Sure.
Raleigh will grab.
I have 100 XP.
You don't need that. You don't need that for this one. This one's free. It's for stuff later on.
Raleigh will grab the sword. She'll proceed to also grab the 9 arrows, correct?
Yep. You now have a bloody big two-handed Thalmar sword, great sword.
Yep.
And there are special rules for the Thalmar. But I think in a Thalmar greatsword doesn't get the fast quality. It might get the fast quality. I'll have to look that up. Let me know if you want to use it.
I'll probably end up using this before I return it. I'll take great care of it. I will become a champion after all.
Sure, they are there to be used. It's just at one point you'll have to hand them in.
Oh no, I'll use this with great care. This is technically not mine.
So, Ragnar, what would your you've just seen these ghosts, skeletons disappear.
You probably just stand there in stunned silence for a moment before kind of coming back to his senses and going back over to the woman in the corner, try to help her up.
You'd note she's asleep.
Oh, she's asleep.
She was catatonic, just shivering, scratching at the corner, but she's, since everything's disappeared, she appears to be asleep, curled up in the corner.
Call over for a healer just to make sure she was okay.
Sure. Casper, you continue to scream.
Was my magic sense active while the knight disappeared?
Sure. I'll say that it was still active. So as you saw him talking to the dwarves, this black shroud still swirled around him. The moment that he went to start laughing like a madman, you saw the black shroud start to get ripped off. Yeah, it still clung slightly, but it still ripped away, tearing itself off of the knight, the dancing prince. You don't see where it went now, however. And then you saw their essence, their energy return back to, well. So it's a bit, because you're a magic user, you know that heaven doesn't really exist. So it's not really explained if it does or doesn't, or if elves see it as... It's a difficult one. You saw their energy return to the winds of magic, and perhaps if you believe that when spirits move on that they do go to heaven, They went to heaven.
Go into the warp.
Yeah. I mean, that is probably the best way of looking at it.
It's our new god.
I'm not gonna lie, I was the thought that made Aurelius' morality shift was, I'm just gonna go grab a few barrels of gunpowder and mind it, blow this house up and burn everything inside. Then there you go, no more problem.
So sadly, none of the Dancing Prince's equipment remains. It all turns to rust, and then the rust just
He's
breaks
got
up into
any of it,
particles.
if I killed him.
This,
If you killed him,
what were-
he'd disappear as well.
Okay. Never mind then.
what were the names? What was the name of those arrows again?
After a
Starlight.
minute or then I will start looting the basement. Just an FYI.
Okay, so Casper, no one really. Okay,
I was about to.
Sorry, what was the
Okay.
name? Albie spoke in the middle of it, so.
Okay. So Olivia,
Uh,
you do eventually, after everyone else kind of moves around, you go to the screaming Casper.
Do I see any wounds? Anything weird?
He's screaming on the floor.
On my knees, clutching my head, my face even.
Yeah, it's not good, whatever's going on. You could do a magical sense if you want to try and see if anything is wrong. Yeah, they're starlight arrows. They're in. You have got the elven relics handout, right? So with
I think she'd do a mundane heal test first, though.
for 5 degrees of success, you see that Casper's aura is still very much normal at this stage. You don't see anything wrong with the wind, like with his aura or anything, but he is clearly in distress. As you do a magic, as you do a heal test, you try and like look at him and check him, and something is affecting him, but you're not sure what at this moment. Casper, which one would you choose? Or could you, for 100%, say you wouldn't go with the last two, so you would still be able to retain your human form?
So the last two means I can't pass as human.
Yeah, the last two you were too
Right.
bestial and monstrous. Oh, sorry, I knew I was meant
Not
to add.
monstrous, but
I got so much stuff ready for the next. I forgot to add on the last two, because you can see this in the old world bestiary, and it will give you more information. But the last two are hideous looking; they cannot pass for human. But the first three all can.
right.
So why do I get the impression that Casper just turned into a fucking lich or something?
It's one of the options. I'm now a Tomb King.
Oh, this is gonna cause issues. Yes.
Praise be to Nagash.
Hey, you can brew nice elixirs that would turn me into a
Look,
vampire.
look. If you want to go that route, you know that before we know it, we'll spend like half the session reading his titles, right?
That means I get to be a vampire, sure.
I mean,
So it depends. As it stands with the law as it is, vampires are not evil. The issue is with being a vampire is insanity. A human mind can only take so much, and where you have the beast within you, you have this thing that can take over. Gaining insanity happens a lot quicker, so it's more of a management and option choice. Cool abilities, gain insanity. Go without, we're all right.
Well, I mean, an elven might have some, I don't know, bonuses to that, but just
So
keeping fed in general will probably help.
the way that I'm running it is essentially insanity is gained as normal. There's no difference to how you'll gain insanity. But if you kill someone, if you feed off them and kill them, you gain insanity. You gain cool buffs, but you ultimately gain insanity. You have killed someone to feed off them. That is something that would break anyone's mortal mind. You can make out that your character is as jaded and as badass as you like. It is up to me how your mind is affected by, and there are certain things that a human, an elf, and a dwarf would be truly disgusted by, and that's where the insanity comes in. If, for instance, you get brought to the brink of death and you fail a willpower check, perhaps you start licking the blood off the floor. You might eat one of your friends because, well, they're dying and I need to heal.
Sounds reasonable.
But it's gonna cause you massive insanity for doing something like that. It's the same as if I imprisoned any normal character and made them eat shit for a month. You would lose insanity or gain insanity points because it's just how it is, or how it works in my head. So, do you still look human, Casper?
I do not.
Oh no.
Oh, I've just figured. Okay.
That's a
How bad do we go?
Go full. Go full.
I will whisper it to you.
Sure. You do know that there is a cure. Okay. Okay. So Casper howls and cries at the floor as he screams. Casper, your blood runs cold. An icy cold that spreads throughout your body, but yet your bones feel as if they're on fire.
Oh my god! I just actually looked up what they look like.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
No.
What exactly?
Lich is very, very close, though. Lich does look yeah.
It is very, very close.
Very appropriate.
So
I'm going to die.
Let you say, okay, so maybe I should take out the Priest of More out of my possible advances.
Okay,
you writhe, you twist and turn. Your facial structure and features begin to morph and twist. Oh, hang on, wait, no. I may have been wrong. Oh no, you... So, Casper, you regain your human features, but you clearly look like you're undead. You clearly look as if you are a creature of the night.
Do I notice this?
You see your friend and comrade and ally screaming and writhing in pain upon the floor.
What do I see?
You see his, as you like check him and like touch his skin, you feel it burns hot, and his skin begins to stretch ever so slightly.
Right, how bad is his face? I mean, if he looks undead.
It's I think my jaw dislocates now.
Yeah, I think you could do the whole like blade vampire thing where like Hmm. I put the last two in for shits and giggles. I didn't expect you to.
I'm sorry. I know Casper kind of saved the day, but he's now super cursed. How fucked up does he look?
He looks like
Yeah.
a
We're trying to find out.
Speak,
Do I recognize him as an undead?
speak plainly, because I don't like doing this, but unfortunately, it will decide what happens.
Can I share a photo to show
Sure.
them what I
If
can?
you can find a photo that you think will best represent your character, or if this is just a random, these are what they look like, you can share it by all means.
Just for the
Right.
record, I'm currently the only one that can see him clearly. Because I'm,
Yes.
So this is the closest thing to one that's not completely feral. I can find.
You are still human at this point. You are not
Yeah.
insane. So,
I'll put it in Discord. I don't think I
Sure.
can share it. Cool.
So you will gain access to all of the skills and talents within the bestiary line. You can pick these up at any time. This career will run parallel to any other career that you have active. However, if you decide to learn the dark shit, it locks you off from any of the light stuff as normal.
Okay.
right. Livia takes the cloak off and puts it over his face.
He's still currently clutching, on the floor, not...
I am so sorry, but that's
Like I said, I'm in trouble.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I will. Are you sure you want to pick that one?
I mean, know how dwarves think about that.
I know.
You
It fits Casper extremely well, but if he knew that's what he's going to turn into, I doubt he would actually actively choose it.
I imagine when you took the curse upon yourself, you had the flickers, because technically you would never get to choose a curse, but I am, because it is something that changes your character so much.
Yeah.
And I feel you should rightfully have the choice. So I will say that through your visions, once you accepted it, that you saw a flicker of what you could become. So you would have a visual representative of, the fighter on the front line, the more diplomatic one, the leader of men for each one, and then obviously the last two where you may control more power, but the costs to your body shriveling and deforming and far worse. I mean, the last option, you genuinely become a monster, and it was, I only put that one in there for shits and giggles.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of tempted. I could just be someone's pet.
Very scary, Pat.
No. I look like completely normal. Then I become a monster. It's
Oh boy.
Out of character, I would offer you a way to get out of this.
So it's entirely, it is up to you, but you would, out of character, you would know that the first three options you can actually get away with fairly easily. You can carry on your adventure. The last two options, you have to be really, really ingenious in your thinkings of, okay, if I'm going to take this, I need to learn how to disguise this, like gesturing at your face. Because your party and your financier will accept some things.
Dwarfs won't.
That?
Yeah. You don't also have one number, think.
Yeah.
So,
although it's not chaos, so I don't think he can detect it with a gem.
Yeah, but one look. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm. As much as I really want that bonus and the whole thing, as I think I'm gonna go for the a different one.
Just saying, I would totally put her cloak over your face and, get you out of his that way.
Because, unfortunately, if you become that, I am sorry, I don't like doing this, but you really would have to fire at you.
Yeah. That's like, I'm kind of
Me
thinking.
too. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you've got the charisma, you can roll
I
and
mean,
be like, I'm not a monster! I took this curse on to help you all, to free them! I would at least give you the chance, but it's difficult when you look like a hideous beast.
Like, Livia would at least give you the chance to make it back to the Lords, so you have a chance to disguise your face somehow.
So, are you going with Sorry, I completely forgot what you said. Are you going with the beast, or one that passes as human?
Give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
I reckon Humperdinck would have to do some rolls to be like, yes, I could use this. It's like, whoa.
Oh, for God's sake.
If I had seen
Well,
with
I mean,
you.
it's a business opportunity. One of his followers turned into a fucking necroc.
Although,
Right. No, no, I'll go for the, We don't need another melee guy, do we? Nice. I mean, we could.
there are a lot of mages on the field, but then you are a mage, so
I mean, I don't have that bad of combat stats, so I might actually take that
I
one.
am actually thinking of going priest, so that's something to consider. This could have another worse time.
Yeah,
I might
okay.
go Lore of Death. Sorry. This
Look,
will
if-
definitely get interesting.
I mean,
Okay,
if
yeah,
you
okay,
go
okay.
of death and then I become a priest of more, we could get along, maybe, somehow.
Just worship him. There you go.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah.
That would be heresy.
You can always worship me instead.
It's
Okay.
heresy as a priest of more.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not.
Back in the ground.
So your blood burns. Your blood freezes still. You scream and writhe as your body goes through changes. Your skin complexion becomes far more pallid. For a moment, as you're screaming into your hands, you can feel the fangs grow. But after screaming for a second, they retract. Now that you have accepted, because you have accepted one of the human passing ones, you gain 1 insanity.
Okay.
If you had taken one of the other 2 options, you would have rolled once you'd seen your reflection.
Hey, well, I can't see my reflection, that's the thing.
Yes,
way.
you can't at the moment, which is why you only take 1, because it's only going to be a small, I'm pallid, and, I have fangs. It's not going to be like, ah!
So I just see him turn very pale.
Yeah, he turns pale. Now, when you touch his skin, it feels cold to the touch, as if all heat drained from it.
Right after the night and the ghost disappears.
Yeah. I'm a ghost now. Woo!
But there is
Livia
no
will
other change.
go into his ear.
After a few
We'll have to
moments,
talk about this.
you stop screaming, Casper.
Yeah, once he calms down, Livia will whisper into his ear. We'll have to talk about this.
Right.
And then she just turns around and moves over to the other woman.
So for the rest of you, as you look at Casper as he stops screaming, he has a pallid complexion. That's all you can tell at this moment. Which kind of, he was just screaming at the floor. It's, his breathing is rapid and it looks like he's been through an ordeal, but no other bad effects. So Casper, you'll have access to all of the skills and talents. You will have to buy them as normal per XP expending. The profile, what we'll be doing is, unfortunately, you won't get access to the profile. You'll only get access to all the talents, special rules, and other things that I've put up. For your, you'll have to discuss this with the party at one point, but for now, you have a couple of ways of living.
Yeah.
You have them down. One of them, I can give you more information on them, and I can say
see
like
1, 2, 3 at the moment. Oh god.
But you can essentially take, if each person cuts their hand and dribbles some blood into a cup, the minimum that you require, you can get by with that. And obviously feeding upon animals until they die, I believe I wrote down, will give you, there's no negatives, there's one of them is the bare minimum, and that gives you negatives. One of them is flat, which gives you just flat, and one of them you gain insanity but gain some cool shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool shit too.
But if you do decide to go full on beast, I'll probably set in a rule for that. At the moment, I need to judge how the party will be like, monster, kill it, or it's not killing us, so. So, the women, as you check Olivia, you would see that she's asleep. She's just exhausted herself out and is just unconscious at the moment. If you want to attempt to carry the women out, you can. I'm guessing you gather up all the arrows. Hang on. It was 9. Did I mean? Yeah, no, it was just 9 arrows. Blackhand, you said you wanted to loot all the corpses. So I'm fighting back hiccups.
I would.
Sadly, beastmen only carry poor quality weapons. But there are a number of them, and I have kept all the corpses there, so we can go through that a little bit later on. Is there anything else?
All right.
You guys, so you do loot everything, Blackhand. We'll just go through it a bit later on.
If possible, I think I would also look inside the church if there isn't something to be looted. I mean, the ruins.
In the ruins, the only thing the elves would have left is what the Beastigor had, and he basically has a poor quality great weapon.
That will do. I loot everything.
With a bit of help from your companions, you load up all these very heavy, poor-made weapons. Their armor isn't really worth carrying. Well, Reese the Spiteful goes off, cursing you all for making him go and do it, of course, and gets the wagon. Now that they know that there's not going to be an attack, that the beastmen have been slain, you all take half an hour just to catch your breaths, loot everything, put the women together and make sure that they're okay-ish. And Reese comes. Actually, I think it took you an hour to walk up here. So you stay here for an hour and a half before you hear in the distance the sound of a cart driver kind of, here, get up, of the whip, as you can see in the distance that the cart is being very slowly dragged up the hill. After another 15 minutes or so, it arrives. You are able to get the women onto the cart. You load up your loot. Is there anything else that you would like to do here?
I would like to take the Joven's body, and I would like to give him a proper burial. Or at least prepare for him to be transported to the Holy Forest.
Okay. You do not have any cloth with you. You can probably take all the beastmen leather. It's not really armor. It counts as armor, but it's scraps of leather that they cover themselves in. You could probably put them all together, or you could sacrifice some of your clothing, like your cloak.
If I can, I'll use my cloak.
Okay.
I don't mind sacrificing my cloak.
So, I'm guessing with a little bit of help from Livia, you take the corpse of Zoko, the Slayer of Beasts, an elven hero. There are songs written about him, or poems, or what have you. You wrap him in your cloak. Your cloak is ruined. I wouldn't expect to get that back, as you can see that's not. There's some funky mold that gets onto your cloak. You wrap him as best you can, but I would mark that off. And you prepare his corpse for transport. You all get 300 XP for completing this chapter, The Dancing Prince.
Yeah.
Hey.
Damn. And I'm sorry, I was legit the two priests I was thinking about was Shalia or more. And I'm like, oof.
It's fine.
You can still do it.
We're going to end the episode off of you all getting onto the cart. Remember, or some of you, that to get back to your lord is going to take 3 days. Or 2 days. I can't quite remember. I'll check the books. But it's just maybe discussions may need to be had sooner rather than later.
I have a
But,
question.
yep.
Does the Warhammer vampires, the ash in the sun?
You're very quiet, dude.
Your roommate's asleep.
So, what was that? Warhammer vampires?
Do Warhammer vampires turn into ash in sunlight?
Yes.
No. Oh, very slowly.
You burn to death. Essentially, you take 1 point of damage for every second that you're in direct sunlight. But if you cover up, if you wear a cloak, a mask, and your eyeballs are going to burn for a bit, but you keep them closed. You just wink, keep them, develop some lenses, perhaps. There are ways that I've done around it, so you won't suffer too much. There are some events where you will, but that will be for future episodes. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Warhammer Fantasy's 2nd edition, Mordheim, City of the Damned, the chapter called The Dancing Prince. If you have enjoyed, then try dropping in next time, every Thursday at 7 PM GMT, where I will always be running a game. Or you can always catch the VODs over at my YouTube channel, which is Dyslexic Gamer. So, I hope you've all enjoyed and are looking forward to the next episode. So, take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
See ya.
Good